Do you love ice cream? Would you like to be able to make that ice cream a little more nutrient dense? Well, stay tuned because I've got you covered. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. I'm Jen, and this is A Better Life with Jen. Today, I'm going to show you how to make 3 different bases for the Ninja Creami. Now, if you've never heard of a Ninja Creami, it's an ice cream machine that allows you to make healthy ice creams with many different bases, and we're going to cover 3 of them today. Today's 3 flavors are going to be lemon ice cream, Pina Colada ice cream, and chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream. Now, the possibilities with a Ninja Creami are almost endless. You can use just fruit and mix that up and make just like a sorbet. You can make full ice cream with heavy cream, all of the good stuff, or you can make them a healthy protein ice cream, which is what I'm going to show you today. So basically what you do is you make your ice cream base in these plastic containers that are specific for the Ninja Creami. You freeze these overnight and then you whip them up in the Ninja Creami. So we'll go ahead and make the bases and then we'll come back later once they're frozen and I'll show you how to whip them up and how they taste. So the chocolate chip cookie dough and the Pina Colada ice cream are both going to start with a base of milk. Now you can use any type of milk you want, dairy milk, non-dairy milk. I like to use a low-fat milk as opposed to a non-fat milk because a little bit of fat gives it a little bit of creaminess to it, but you can use whatever you want. So I do 1 cup of milk for each of my creamies. Now you may have noticed that the 3rd container I did not add any milk to, and that's because the base of it is going to be a protein shake. So you can do these with milk and protein powder. You can do them with ready-made protein shakes, which makes it super easy, and that's what I'm going to do in the 3rd one for the lemon. So for the lemon, I'm just going to use this Premier Protein lemon bar protein shake that I have. I'm just going to shake it up, and literally you just dump it straight in. Now, I am going to add a little bit of fresh lemon zest to it just to pump up the lemon flavor just a little bit. Now, you could freeze it just like this, but I do like to add a couple more ingredients to increase the creaminess of all of my Ninja Creamis. So we'll add that to this one as well. So the other 2 started with the 1 cup of milk, and then I'm going to go ahead and add protein powder to them. Now, my favorite protein powder for Ninja Creamis is PE Science because it's a whey casein blend, so it's a little bit creamier. This is the flavor Frosted Sugar Cookie. So this I'm going to use for the chocolate chip cookie dough Ninja Creami. And when I'm making these, I do weigh things out just to make sure it's a little more accurate. So 1 scoop of this protein powder is 32 grams. So I have 32 grams there. Now, the other things that I like to add to my Ninja Creamis increase the creaminess of it. And one thing is xanthan gum. So if you notice on commercial ice creams, many of them have either guar gum or xanthan gum added to it. As a thickener, it increases the creaminess. So I love to use this when I'm making smoothies or the creamies. So it does not take much of the xanthan gum. I just use a 1/4 teaspoon for each creamy. And I'll go ahead and put that in all 3 of them. Now, the other thing that I add to increase the creaminess is sugar-free pudding mix. So depending on the flavor that you're making, if I'm making a chocolate-based creamy, I'll use chocolate pudding. This is a vanilla pudding. So I just use an instant sugar-free vanilla pudding, and that also just increases the creaminess of it. And I use 5 grams, which is not very much. But through trial and error, that seems to be a nice amount. So I will reset the scale. And I'll do that to each one. So that is all for the chocolate chip cookie dough base creamy. It's just the milk, the frosted sugar cookie protein powder, xanthan gum, and instant vanilla pudding mix. I'm gonna go ahead and mix this up. I just use a little whisk to mix this up. Now to make it chocolate chip cookie dough, when it's done, I actually have some frozen, ready to eat little tiny cookie doughs that I will put in after it's whipped up. So we just mix this up with just a little hand whisk. You can use an immersion blender if you're making a larger amount. I just found the hand whisk is super easy. You just want to make sure you get the protein powder fully mixed in. So that's all there is to this one. And then we'll add the cookie dough after it's whipped up. Now, moving back to the Pina Colada one, this one I'm going to use, I actually had this sample of a vanilla, it's Tahitian vanilla bean protein powder. It was a sample that I got. I love having protein powder samples on hand. They're great for travel, but also sometimes if you have a flavor, like I don't have a large one of vanilla, so I'm going to use this one. And this actually is a whey casein blend as well, so I think it's going to work really well. And then I'm gonna whip this up and then I'm gonna add some other stuff to it to make it pina colada. So the protein powder is all mixed up. Now to make this pina colada, obviously you need pineapple and coconut. So I just have one of these little snack packs of pineapple tidbits in just straight, pure pineapple juice, so no sugar added. And I'm just gonna dump this entire cup in here. And then this is a pina colada flavoring oil that I have when I bake and do various, flavored frostings or cakes. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of this. Smells great. Just takes a little. And then we'll give this just a gentle stir to get that mixed in. These Ninja Creami containers will hold up to 2 cups of ingredients. There's a little fill line that says don't fill above this, so you can add stuff to them. So that one is all done for the pina colada. It smells amazing. And then back to the lemon, which just needs to be mixed up. I'm gonna go ahead and just rinse off the whisk and then we'll mix this one up. So there you have it, 3 bases for the Ninja Creami. I have a lemon, a pina colada, and then what's going to be chocolate chip cookie dough. Right now it's just frosted sugar cookie. So each one of these is gonna be a great source of protein. The lemon one, because the protein shake had 30 grams of protein, so this one's gonna have 30 grams. These are both gonna be about 25 grams. I will put the total calories and macros up as I make each one for you. So I let these freeze overnight. Now, little tip, these come with plastic lids that go on top, but if you freeze them without the lid, it helps prevent a little hump that forms in it, so it makes it easier to whip up. So I freeze them without the lid and then I put the plastic lid on. Freeze these overnight and then I'll come back and we'll whip them up. So this is the Ninja Creami base. This happens to be the lemon bar flavor. Once it's all frozen, I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to make this up. I just got back from my run, took a shower, and I'm actually gonna make this up for breakfast. Now you may say ice cream for breakfast, but if you think about it, it's really just a protein shake with a tiny bit of instant vanilla pudding mix, and no one would think twice about having a protein shake after a run or a workout. So it's just gonna be in a different form. So I like to let these sit out for about 15 minutes or so. You don't want them rock hard when you put them in the Ninja Creami. And so I just take the top off. I can smell the lemon, it smells great. So we'll go ahead, we'll whip this up and I'll show you how it works. So this is the Ninja Creami machine, and you take the base that we made, put it into the container of it. It just fits right in there. And then you just go ahead and put the top on. This has a blade in it, and that's what whips it up. Once you get that clicked in there, you turn on the machine, put this in the bottom, twist it up, And then there's several different modes that you can use. I always use for mine light ice cream. So we'll go ahead and get that started. It is super loud. Once it has stopped, we'll go ahead and we will release the container and then take a look. Now, if you can see, it looks kind of almost sawdusty. So I always do 2 spins, and I usually add just a touch of some sort of liquid. Sometimes I'll save a tiny bit of the protein shake. I didn't do that this time, but I'll put just a touch of milk in there. I'm talking like a tablespoon at the most, and then whip it again, and that makes it nice and creamy. So it has whipped a second time. We'll go ahead and take it off and see. Occasionally you need to do 3 spins. But this one looks great. So I just take it out of the container. It looks nice and creamy, smells super lemony. So we'll go ahead and we'll give it a taste. Tastes wonderful. You can taste that lemon bar flavor from the protein shake. It's nice and creamy, very smooth. So this is wonderful. I'm gonna have this for breakfast. But here is the Lemon Bar Ninja Creami. So I did want to let you know the macros and calories for this entire container. Comes out to be 3 grams of fat, 7 grams of carbs, and 30 grams of protein for 175 calories. So basically there's a few grams of extra carbs from the pudding mix, but otherwise it's just the protein shake. So less than 200 calories, 30 grams of protein, great for a post-workout breakfast. All right, so I am back with the second of the Ninja Creamies that I made, and this is the cookie dough one. Now, I apologize, I said it was chocolate chip cookie dough, but I was mistaken. The cookie dough pieces that I have are actually these Ben & Jerry's cookie dough pieces and the flavor of sugar cookie with candy specks. So this will actually go great because the protein powder that I used, remember, was the frosted sugar cookie from PE Science. So I did the same thing I did with the lemon bar. I whipped it on light ice cream, added a tiny bit of milk, and then did another mix on light ice cream for a remix. And we'll go ahead and give this one a taste. Smells super good. Oh, that's amazing. That frosted sugar cookie dough protein powder tastes so good. And then with those cookie dough pieces, this one is definitely a winner. Now, the macros for this one came out to be a total of 10 grams of fat, 40 grams of carbohydrates, and 35 grams of protein. The carbohydrates are a little bit higher than they were in the lemon bar because I did use milk, so that's gonna add some carbohydrates. And then the cookie dough pieces obviously added some carbohydrates as well, but well worth it. So this whole pint comes out to be 390 calories. So this is gonna be great. I'm gonna sit outside by the pool and enjoy this. It is after dinner in the evening and it is still over 100 degrees at my house. So summer is definitely ice cream weather where I live. So hopefully you enjoyed this one, the sugar cookie dough ice cream. Okay, so here we have the third and final Ninja Creami that I made, and this is the Pina Colada Ninja Creami. So we'll go ahead and give it a taste. I whipped it up the same way, did a light ice cream, and then a respin on the light ice cream after I added a tiny bit of milk to it. So it smells great. You can really smell the pineapple and the coconut. We'll give this one a try. Super nice and creamy. Very, very good. You can definitely taste the pineapple and the coconut. Really, really good flavor on this one. So the macros for this one came out to be 8 grams of fat, 33 grams of carbohydrates and 34 grams of protein for 340 calories for this entire pint. And this one actually made a little bit more because it had the juice from the pineapple and the pineapple as well. So really great. Remember, this has a full serving of fruit because it had that fruit cup of the pineapple, has a full cup of milk, and then the protein powder. So really, really great macros for all that you get. I think this is wonderful, and this tastes fabulous. Well, I hope you enjoyed seeing the high protein, healthy ice cream that I made with the Ninja Creami. The nice thing about those is you can customize them to whatever you want, make them fit whatever macros you want. You can use regular ice cream ingredients. You can use the lighter ice cream ingredients like I did. You can add things. You can really just customize them to what fits your taste and your health needs. So I love my Ninja Creami. I use it all the time in the summer. Really great way to get some healthy desserts in there. So if you did like the video, please give it a like, comment, subscribe, all the things. And as always, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you next week with another video.